Hi everyone. My name is Marie, and I'm here with my colleague Lucky. And today we're going to be presenting the Professional Development Hub, um, which is a hub that is exclusive to Actuarial Association members. Today on the agenda, we will be discussing your professional development as an actuarial student, as well as the features of our Discord server. The breakdown of it is that professional development for actuarial students is made up of two components: academic success and professional success. And you promote your academic success through various courses provided by the university, of course, by doing well in your classes and stuff like that. But there's a lot more that goes into overall professional success, over performing well in your job and over getting noticed by hiring members. And that is just the overall element of professional success. Grades alone are not going to get you noticed, although they are definitely a huge help. There's also various extraneous variables such as projects that you have worked on, how you work well in a team. Those are all things that a potential hiring manager will look at, as well as, of course, your progress on the various exams, how many you've passed, how many tries it took you to pass them, stuff like that. So that's what the Professional Development Hub is supposed to help with. As an actuary, you learn continuously, but you also have to prove that you did so. You have to prove that there is progress, that you have made progress, that you are advancing your career. And so the hub has a three-pronged approach to helping with this. We promote the following three goals: exam preparation support, case competition support, and project support. And I'm going to delve into each of these. So how we help is in a variety of manners. We provide resources to help you in your various endeavors. So for instance, we provide information on what UCSB courses match up to which actuarial exams. We also provide essentially, as an actuarial association member, you get a welcome packet, which also consists of various resources, especially for exams, like cheat sheets for the exam, which contains all of the formulas that you will need and how those link together. We provide a forum that is open only to actuarial association members. This forum is hosted on Discord. And it gives you that sort of space where you can connect with your peers, where you can ask for help and provide help on various topics. And also, it's a direct line of communication to the Actuarial Association officers. We have a support ticket system that you can use to contact an officer if you need assistance with any sort of difficulty. We are also building up a code base on GitHub. We encourage all Actuarial Association members to participate. This is essentially a space where you can publish codes that you have generated for various school projects. So for instance, if you've developed an Excel workbook for generating a stochastic model or forecasting interest rates, stuff like that, that could be useful to other students, then you can add it to the code base where it will be peer reviewed as well as reviewed by faculty. What this really gives you is it gives you something to put on your resume. You can say that you contributed this code to GitHub. And GitHub has a feature where it shows people how often your code has been used by others. So that can be extremely useful when showing the impact of your work. And last but not least, we provide actuarial seminars. This ranged on a variety of topics. We had resume workshops recently where we had faculty look over resumes for students, for actuarial association members. We are also developing a behavioral interview workshop to hone those behavioral skills because that's kind of a huge part of the interview process, how you'll work in a team. And yeah, we're also trying to dive into the case study portion of interviews, which is something that I will build on more later. Exam resources. We curate a list of good free resources. We are partnered with Coaching Actuaries and the Infinite Actuaries to provide you with enormous discounts on paid resources. The forum, the Discord forum, can also help when it comes to selling or buying used manuals to or from other students. And we also Coaching Actuaries and the Infinite Actuaries have agreed to provide informational seminars on their services. The Professional Development Hub hosts a place where blog posts, where you can write blog posts. The point of this page is to sort of share your experience, whether it be with internships, with exams that you've passed, what tools you've used to pass exams. And that can be extremely helpful for other students, as well as for yourself, because it can make a nice addition to your resume if you say you were a contributor to the webpage. We are considering opening a repository of case studies written by students, but that's still a work in progress. We're still in the fledgling stages of that initiative. For case study seminars, this is the part that is fairly important. One thing that I've noticed, I'm currently interviewing for an internship for the summer. And one thing I've noticed is that case studies are increasingly becoming common for internships and for job interviews. They're not just asking behavioral questions anymore. They're actually asking you to analyze like variables for a data set, asking you to solve more to show how you would solve an actual problem on the job, an actual actuarial problem. And while you do get some of that experience, if you participate in, for instance, the UCLA case competition, that we as UCSB students can participate in. Not everybody necessarily does that. And it can be extremely daunting and scary when you're in an interview and you're told on the spot to basically analyze a case study. So we want to be on top of this new development, and so we are organizing case study seminars. We are still organizing, putting that together. So watch out for that, keep an eye out, and we will be announcing, there will be announcements to follow on those seminars. As far as case competitions are concerned, we offer support for that. So this is especially where the forum, the Discord forum, becomes useful. You can use the forum to create teams based on skill sets. You can use that to essentially ensure that you have a nice, well-rounded team and thus increase each team's chance of success. We also want to provide informational seminars where former participants can share their experiences with a case competition. This can be especially useful for, freshmen or sophomores who might not necessarily be familiar with how how you would approach a case competition. The aforementioned blog posts, you can contribute to that, and that will that can contain tips from former participants about how they approached case competitions and how that had an impact on their working knowledge. And that can be extremely useful for new students who are just first approaching this. We want to organize seminars. So this is going to be a multi-year process, but we want to try and host a mock case competition for UCSB. And right now but that's kind of an ambitious goal. So right now we're just starting off with some preparation of topics from a toolkit that CAS gave us. This contains case studies on a variety of topics, and we want to help provide seminars for that, how you would approach that, what sort of information, what sort of knowledge is expected from participants for such case study competitions. Our UCSB competition, we hope to host that in spring of, this should be 2023. Yeah, this should be 2023, apologies, but spring of 2023, so next spring. And there will be announcements on other competitions that we are planning on hosting. As far as the projects on GitHub are concerned, this can consist of a wide variety of projects. So any R, Python, SAS, Excel program that performs a useful task. So I have here various examples, visualizing histograms, funnel charts, simulating annuities. Basically either an entire project or a function that can be borrowed to use in a project. So as I mentioned, there are definite advantages to posting on GitHub. So contributions can help improve and round out your resume. Other students, your post on GitHub reflects how often your code has been used by other people. So that can show how impactful your code was. So this also helps because when you are working on a project, it can be useful to know that there is that database of code that could be that could help you develop your project faster. And it's also a good way to showcase coding skills to employers. It's one thing to say, oh, I worked on code for a project. It's another to say, well, here's the code that I worked on. It's on GitHub. It's been peer reviewed. It really has a much bigger impact. So I'm going to pass on to Lucky. Is it okay if I look at the chat first? Because I see some chat messages before we move to your section of the slides.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to open up the chat and see what's going on. Yahweh, what Lucky is saying here is essentially correct. What I've noticed is before internship interviews is, for me at least, what they asked of me was more analytical than asking me to do computations on the spot. It was more of like a hypothetical, how would you approach this? But of course, it can be different for everyone. They might change that in the future. But I think that's also kind of the hardest part of a case study question like that. It's how you begin it, right? It's how you plan on tackling it. I know a lot of people can get sort of paralyzed when they look at the problem and they say, oh, I don't know how to begin this. And that definitely will not reflect well in your interview.
Hi, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Can we find this examples of case study questions online, or can you provide us with some example? Because I'm not an actuarial major, but I'm interested in transfer this into this major, so I might don't have the skill set to solve a completely actuarial science based question. So I wonder if my skill set is a match. So can we find this type of question, like this case study example questions somewhere?
Um, the sources that we are currently using for case study questions are unfortunately kind of restricted to instructors. We are granted them on a license that we will be using them for instructing students. So that's why we are offering these seminars instead of just giving you the case studies outright. There might be other sources that you could look into, but unfortunately, I would not be familiar with them off the top of my head. I just know that the ones that we're using are restricted to instructors.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, though.
Okay, I think we are good to continue, unless there are any other questions. Yeah, let me know when you're ready, Lucky.
Yeah, I'm ready. So before we get started, a brief introduction about myself is that I'm Lucky Ye, a third-year actuarial science student here at UCSB and a general officer at our Actuarial Association Club. I'll go through the basic and core feature that our Discord server have. I believe it's an important collaborative and communication platform that our club have for our members and for students who are interested in actuarial topics and concepts. So here, this would be the info category of our server, and it will be the first thing you see when you join our server. On to the next slide, please. And some feature of our Discord server. So a category would be what you saw earlier, which is info. And underneath info would be channels. And channels, you can think of them like small hubs or forum for a specific topic or events. Earlier, we can see, and if you have Discord open on your phone or computer, you can look that under the info category, there are channels like welcome, rules, and events. For example, welcome is the first thing you'll see when you join our server. It will give you a brief description of every channels that are important to our server. For the rules channel, they'll highlight the important rules that our server follow, which basically summarize to just be nice and have common courtesy. Event channel would be the most important one. It will highlight important events that you might miss through email, and we'll just repost them here on Discord so everybody can see. And other important channel would be the ticket channel. It's a powerful tool to help you communicate with staff members, which are officers of the club. And it's also a great way for you to contact me, or the president, or vice president, or even Marie as well, if you can't reach them through email. Then we have goodies. Goodies are like giveaway channels. It basically, whenever our club have an event where we want to do a giveaway, like a free t-shirt or Amazon gift card, we'll announce them through here, and that's where you can participate and potentially pick up some free stuff. For roles and info and color, these are like miscellaneous channels. It helps you categorize your Discord profile when you join our server. It gives you the option to select these little boxes that you'll see on that channel where it can help give you a description. So whenever someone click on your profile, they'll see, oh, this person's a third year, he's interested in exam FM or P, and he's probably good at Excel. So on to the next slide. We have the welcome package, and something that we would like to highlight is that we mentioned this a lot, but club members who pay their fee, they get access to the welcome package. And if you join our Discord server and just submit a ticket, we'll verify your payment and email, and you'll have access to the welcome package on the go, anytime, anywhere, as long as you just open Discord and look in our server. So we'll go over the important features of the welcome package that you might not know on the next slide. So for the welcome package, it includes a huge discount code for Coaching Actuary and the Infinite Actuary. If you're not familiar with those, they're just training programs to help prepare upcoming actuaries for the exam, which is PFM or IFM. IFM will be discontinued during November, so we will be focusing on exam P and FM. The good thing about it is that you get 70% off for both programs, Coaching Actuary and the Infinite Actuary. So the $30 club membership fee definitely pays off for it if you're going to use it to get a discount code. It saves you $300. And you also get access to a formula sheet as well that you can use for classes. And not everyone is an actuary or are planning to become an actuary, but as long as you join the club, you'll have access to those cheat sheets that you can use to help you on stat classes like 120A, 120B, 171, and other classes as well. We also have guides for curriculum and classes that are optimal if you're in data science or in actuary. And for all the following resources that we'll have and continue to update, it will also be posted in there as well. On to the next slide, Marie. And here's the main chat of our Discord server. It's basically where everybody's going to be talking, discussing, and also a place where you can just hop on and talk with other people or use our server's bots. And we're going to detail in that in the next slide. So again, for the chat channel, you can feel free to discuss with other students or members. It could be anything about classes, events, or news, or actual topics or interests that you might want to speak with other students about. And for the suggestion channel, this is helpful for me and other officers because it gives us feedback. And here you can leave suggestion for quality of life improvement or updates that you think should be added to the server to help other people in your experience be better. And as for the bot channel, we're still working on that, but these are for miscellaneous activities. If you're just bored, like you like Pokemon, or you like to see news for sport or events, you can also hop on that and just use a command for our server's bot, and it'll get you the news, and you can also play games on there as well. So on to the next slide. Here we have case studies and projects. So for those who are interested in case studies or case competitions, you can just hop on there and just see if there are any events or announcements that our club might have and collaborate with other students to work on case studies or projects. We'll go into more detail on the next slide about how these will work. So whether it's case study or case competition, any resource or news will be announced under the event channel. And here you can also work or collaborate with students to prepare for case studies if you're doing interviews or researching case competition topics. And for project, you can also post projects that you might have, or also look at projects that undergraduate students or graduate students or even professor that post on here, and you can feel free to work on them and research with them as well. And again, you can unlock these channels by going to the under the info category and roles channel and selecting which one that suits your interest. On to the next slide. Here is the core feature of our server, which is the exams. So for those who have not participated yet or missed the opportunity for the exam study sessions, you can still join, but if it's not convenient for you or you're not comfortable, well, you can also use a temporary study session on our server, which is under the exams category. And from there, you can communicate or just discuss any event or question you might have for any of the following exams you might be interested in. So again, on the toggle channel, you can select which exams you're interested, whether it's P, FM, or IFM. Here, you can also study, meet, or prepare with other students for your upcoming exams. Even if you're not taking an exam or an actuary, you can still hop in and see what you have, what's there to be offered, and what you can learn. Whether you're taking classes for 120A, studying for exam P, or just talking and discussing with other people about exam P can also help you understand some of the questions for that class as well. And if you're interested, aside from this temporary like study session group, there's also like a dedicated class here on campus, which is PSTAT 182, and it's being TA'd by our professional development officer, Marie. And that channel is open to everyone, for everyone, so you can just hop in and join. And if there's any question in regards to the exams that you have, you can also hop in there and ask. I know that recently one of the Professor Moti has joined, so you can also ping him and ask him question as well. So that's basically it about the Discord server and the professional development website. And I would like to thank everyone for their time because it's kind of late, and I know everyone here might be on a tight schedule. So if there are any concerns, you can always feel free to DM me on Discord. It's the tag Handsome Scholar, so you guys can always message me, or you guys can send me an email at my UCSB email, or you guys can create a ticket as well, and any officers that's online can also help answer your question or concerns. So if anyone have any question right now, you guys can also unmute or just type in chat and I'll answer them away.